Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be using this lovely little patterned butterflies die set. I'm going to be showing you a few different ways to use a lovely thin lit die set like this, and I'm just going to be having loads of fun creating some summer and celebration themed makes for you. So if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, and make sure if you have any questions, leave a question in the comments because we love reading your questions and comments. So without any further ado, let's jump in. So here is the die set I'm going to be using. All these lovely pieces to work from. I love a die set like this just because, you know, you got so many options with it. And also, I'm going to be using these dies in different ways, and that means that you're going to have kind of loads of different options when you're using it. Get loads of little butterflies in this. I'm going to start by just die cutting a load of these butterflies, and that's it. You just almost, with something like this, you're just giving yourself loads of fun things to do, because each of these is a nice plain butterfly, and we know what butterflies are like because, you know, they're all colourful, they have all these lovely different patterns, and that means I get to play around creating the lovely patterns on the butterflies. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is creating some organic inking techniques on the wings here. So I've brought with me a few of these distress oxides and distress inks here. I'm going to apply them straight down to the mat. Then I'm going to give them a little spritz. This is just water. It's not like a magic potion or anything, just plain old tap water. And then I'm going to take this in my little tweezers and I'm just going to dab them. And each time I dab, you're going to get a really cool organic pattern here, because some of the drips are more concentrated than others. So it does it for you, it does the work for you, which is really cool. And you can keep building them up as you go, like this. Now, I'd almost be tempted to stop there because that looks so cool. But I'll just show you what happens when we just let that dry a bit. And while we're letting that dry, I'm going to come in with another colour. Now, these colours, they will run into each other, but that's a good thing. I love that. I love that's what mixed media is all about. It's not kind of being all precise and things. It's letting what's going to happen and picking out the lovely, beautiful parts of it. So here we go, coming in the other area. Look at that. Look at the way those colours are just blending together with some really lovely concentrated drip parts and then some more subtle, shall we say. Subtle's the word. One of my favourite words, subtle. There we are. And I've left some of it white as well because that colour ties in with these two really nicely. So that's one way how you can use these butterflies. That's just as an outline. Now, the other way you can use them, I've obviously cut these, but you have an aperture of the butterflies, and that's because the dies, they're thin lit dies, so they go right to the edge nearly. You hardly have a rim around the die, which means we can use these parts as an aperture. Now, what happens is, if I just create a nice blended background here, with the same sort of thing here, in fact, I can use this to tidy the table up, which is nice. Nice blended background like this. I can just add this on a card front in front of it, like this. And that frames any of those nice little blended parts. Now, you can be as subtle or as detailed as you want here. Anything that you see is going to be through that butterfly shape, which is a really cool technique. I've got an example of how I've done this with some acrylic paint techniques, okay, which is actually the next thing we're going to talk about. So that is the aperture. The next thing we're talking about is going to be applying some acrylic to another one of these white butterflies. So I'll put that down on my media mat. I'll leave this just out of the way there. And I'm going to apply some, here we are, in my little box of tricks I have. some Mango Tango creamy acrylic, and I have a brayer. Every crafter should have one. Now what I'm going to do, you'll notice that I'm not just running it through the paint here. What I'm doing is I'm running it through, I'm lifting it up off the mat, and then that allows the brayer to spin, which means I'm getting a really nice even coverage over the brayer. And anywhere where there isn't, I can just keep going. So there we are. You can see that I've got a coverage over the brayer, and all I do now is just run over that butterfly a little bit towards that right wing, I should say, there. Ooh, not right wing. It's not a right wing butterfly. Have a look at that. I love this nice gradient that we have here, and that's a great thing that you can create using a brayer, because some of the paint was more concentrated on one side, it was thinner on the other side, and we get that nice gradient right across these tiny little die cut pieces. So how cool is that? Now that would just look great on a card. One thing before I kind of move on to the main event is you don't actually have to do anything to these butterfly pieces. I could just use them as white silhouettes. Now I've done that over here. These cards here, this is just white silhouettes of the butterflies. I've literally just die cut them, stuck them straight on a piece of yellow cardstock. This is from the muted range there. And then I put a sentiment on the front. We've done it again here in another colour. It's just one of those really easy things to do. And then here with a different white sentiment there. But I love that. To me, that looks like something that you might see in a card shop, and you've made it yourself, which is really cool. Now, on to the main event. So, these are called the patterned butterflies, but I feel almost like they should be called build your own butterfly. And the reason for that is that we have obviously these main butterfly elements, which again, I'm going to cut now. We've also got loads of nice little patterns that you can put on your butterfly. That's what all the rest of the dies are here. These are just tiny little circles, tiny little lines, all the things that you see on a butterfly's wing. And I'm going to play about with them now. So I've got my butterfly base. Now to just speed up the process, I think is a good idea for me. This is just my preference. I like using an adhesive sheet. It's going to stop me from getting glue everywhere because I'm not that precise. And now I can bring on my machine, make sure it's all clicked in. And again, from this white, so I'm doing white on white, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to die cut just all the elements, all of them, maybe not all of them, but as many as possible, because I don't want to be cutting something each time to use. I want to have them all there at my disposal, so I'm just going to cut them all at once. Lovely little spirals there to go on the wings, nice concentric circles to go on the wings. Make sure they're all the right way, Josh. Ooh, a nice little butterfly shape there. It's like a pick and mix, this. I just get to choose which bits I like and which bits I'm going to leave and use next time. There we are. Do you know what? That'll do me for now. I say that, but I can't stop picking them. I may as well just do one big cut as I go. There we are. Little wiggly line appeals to me. There we go. I'm going to stop there. I could go on all day doing that. Now, I will run these through the machine twice. Reason being, you're cutting through the cardstock and you're cutting through the adhesive sheet at the same time. So I just want to make sure that it's cut through 100%. My glue's run away. Got it. Now, first of all, I'm going to use I didn't colour the other one. Do you know what? I'm going to put some ink on this because I want these white parts to stand out from the butterfly there. So I shall take this. Actually, you know what? Rather than ink, let's use paint. There we go. Well, let's cover that in paint. One thin layer of paint, especially in the Mango Tango, is going to be vibrant. So the colours are going to show up over this mango. That was just one roll over with the Brayer, but I've still got a little bit of white showing through, which makes it perfect for me. Now that's going to be one of those things that you play over and over again, and then it'll sound strange after a while. Now. Okay, I'm coming in. I'll put this over here. I'm coming in with some circles. Whatever I do, it is a butterfly, so I'm going to make sure it's symmetrical. So I'll do it on the other side as well. Now, this is supposed to, I say supposed to, speed up the process. And it does, because it would take me ages to put glue on all these bits, but it's still going to take me a little bit of time to peel off those back layers. And you know what? This is actually fun. So there we go. There's one curly bit on the top of the wing. And then my other curly bit is here, so I'm going to put that one on. Oh yeah, the back came off that really quickly. Like so. On this side. So making sure that it's almost symmetrical. And then I will put my little butterfly little butterfly body, should I say, over the center here. That's going to make it look more like a butterfly. Just separate the wings there. Now, that's enough building up of my butterfly. In fact, I shall put a big circle on each side. There we go. I'm going to make a very broad one. But remember, if anyone sends in the comments a picture of one that they've put together, one, I would absolutely love that. And two, spend your time doing it. You know, take as long as you like, because you're not getting filmed on a vlog doing it. So you could spend all day, if you want, just building up this butterfly and making it look really, really cool. So there we are. I'm going to stick that on that side. And that's my butterfly built. So I'm going to push all this out of the way. And then we come in with my actual make. So I've just backed a square frame with, this is just some pink cardstock. That's actually from our Mystical range. But we've got loads of pink cardstock that you can use. And I have on the floor here, shouldn't have been on the floor, I've got a big V that I cut off. Now this is from an old die set, but I know as crafters a lot of the time we have big letter dies at home, but it's also, if you've got the time to do it, it's nice to cut out your own letters as well. So don't worry if you haven't got this die. Cutting something like a V or an A or an H, they're the easier ones with less arcs. Now I'm going to put that straight in the middle, and I use some foam tape because I want this shadow behind that. I just think it looks really cool. Now I can start building it up. I love this part. So this is where my glue is going to come in handy. I'm going to apply little bits. Try not to drip it on the table. And I'm going to build up a little bunch of leaves out here. I like cutting, when I'm doing something like this, I like having different colours of leaves everywhere. And there's another one on the floor. I don't know how I managed to get everything on the floor. I will apply some glue to this, and then that's easier. The reason I haven't used the adhesive sheets with this is because I want them to not be stuck down completely. I want that added dimension of the leaves, you know, poking up. In fact, I'd be tempted to pull them up a bit and manipulate them so that they are actually kind of sticking out. Again, it's that using the shadow to your advantage on the background there. Then I've got some florals. So these florals and leaves here, they're actually from another set that's in chapter 2. Also by Jen Ogborn, who designed this set as well, the pattern butterflies set. And it's called Teacups, but any die set you've got that's got nice little florals is a winner. Have I knocked that on the floor again? Now I'm going to build up some of my little hearts. I'll put one here. Again on foam tape there. I'm absolutely obsessed with foam tape. Here's another one, and I angle these differently as well because I like it looking like, as they float up, they're almost like balloons floating around. Then my last one I'm not putting on foam tape because I like the difference between, you know, some being flat down and some coming up. I think it adds liveliness. So we got those there. I can still keep adding though, because I've got the butterfly that I built up earlier. Now I'm going to tilt the wings up. It's another great thing about these because they're 3D as well as being 2D. You know, you can use them in each way, and you can play with them like. And I'm going to stick this down just onto that V there, and then we are done. All I need to do is, this is my favourite bit, adding the top of the frame on and seeing how it looks. There we are. So this is a perfect make for any person in your life whose name begins with V, but obviously, if you're making it for someone else, then just use a different letter. It's a nice sentiment. Just look at it. While I have you here, I'm going to show you some of the other makes that I've created using this same nice little patterned butterfly. So as well as the card makes, which I showed you earlier, have a look at this. Now this, I call it a bell jar, but I have heard it referred to as a cloche. I bet everyone at home already knew that, but I didn't. And look at that. So these are just kind of random florals that we've made using some sculpting foam. And then you just add the butterflies to it. Obviously, this is that technique that I was using earlier where you are dipping into the ink. So we've got those nice organic patterns on the butterflies. But here's another one that we've built up. And in this one, we've even included some metallics as the patterns on the butterfly's wings. I just think that's gorgeous. And again, all this is just a little bit of a fake plant, you know, the leaf of a fake plant that I've just stuck down, put a bit of moss around the bottom, and then it's the butterflies on there that make this come to life. And it's just been really fun to make. So thank you for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed the video. I've really enjoyed making all these projects. Have a look around for some of the other Sizzix videos on whichever platform you're watching on, because there's loads more inspiration. We've got more videos coming up in this theme of celebration. We've got more from Pete coming up, more from Jess coming up. So yeah, I hope you enjoy all of our videos. Again, make sure you give us a like if you like the video and leave us a comment. Any question you have, we will be absolutely happy to answer your questions. So I will see you next time.